Hello and welcome back to the Spin the Rock podcast. I'm your host Angel. And with me today are my co-hosts.
Eugene?
And Vaughn.
All right, we have a pretty fun Christmas episode for you guys tonight, but I do want to say one thing. I don't know if this counts as a bingo check mark, but I don't know if you watched the NBA Cup broadcasting, but I almost said Steven Adams. I don't know why I almost said that. Pretty much, Adam Silver was on the broadcast and he said something that I don't know if you count as saying something dumb, but he basically said that like Prime's broadcasting, he likes it because they actually talk about basketball on like other networks where they only talk about things not related to basketball, which was a clear shot at ESPN. So how do y'all feel about that? I don't know if you even saw that clip, but it was pretty funny.
No, I didn't even see that. I think it could count as a check mark on the bingo card because it's not as dumb as some of the things he said in the past, obviously, but it was clearly a direct shot to ESPN and TNT and literally everyone else other than Amazon. But also, like, it makes sense because they're all former players that have recently played in the game
Yeah,
and they understand today's game. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
Yeah, like that's probably enough for the bingo scratch off, but for him to say that, to him light that fire, it feels good because I'm glad someone said it. And if it's the commissioner himself, then I'm all for it.
yeah.
Uh it gets ridiculous at certain points. So I'm glad that hasn't gone unnoticed. But man, Adam Silver saying it, that's wild.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I think if you watch the broadcast, you can see like um, Dirk kind of look around and like be like, "Wow, is he really saying this right now?" Because it was just kind of like, I feel like it's stupid for him to say because you're the commissioner. You have a deal with ESPN. You really shouldn't be like, saying stuff like that, even though we all think it. But yeah, it was kind of funny. But I mean, Amazon. That was the first time I really sat down and watched an Amazon Prime broadcast, and he is right. They do mostly just talk about basketball and like it's almost like watching one of those basketball podcasts that like so many players have, except it was just on national television and they're just dissecting the game. So it was very interesting to see, and I like it. So yeah, it's just like wild. I'm like, wow, I can't believe he's saying this right now. But speaking of the NBA Cup, the New York Knicks have officially won, and not only that, but they beat the Spurs, who beat the Thunder, handing the Thunder their first loss of or their second loss of the season, breaking that winning streak. I think the NBA Cup, this was the most successful tournament they have yet. I think it was very exciting. How do you feel about the NBA Cup this season, and how do you feel about the Knicks winning it all? The first time in like what, 100+ years winning a championship.
winning, yeah, anything of that nature. I mean, good for the Knicks, but the NBA, I'm not going to say the NBA Cup doesn't mean anything, but it doesn't mean anything in terms of how the playoffs are going to go. You know, like the past NBA Cup winners, neither of them went on to win the finals. So good for them. They should hang up a banner just like the Lakers and Bucks did, but um why they're not, I don't it makes no sense to me. I don't know, but um yeah, it was a pretty good game though to watch. It's so weird seeing Wemby come off the bench, bro. It's so weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought after the Spurs took out the Thunder, I'm like, oh, they're a lock. They gotta win it all at this point. But the Knicks, they played great all around. Um, but if Wemby was starting, things might have been a little different. No minutes restriction on Wemby, that could have shifted the tides. But it is what it is. If we're going by statistics, just like Eugene said, the winners of this tournament doesn't go on to win the championship, I guess we got to rule the Knicks out now. Um,
It's a lock.
uh, as for them not hanging up the banner, it is weird because I think the reason was they only hang up championships. But like, when was the last time you won a championship? Like, be real now. You're not the franchise to be doing this. You you should hang that up. It might be the one thing you hang up in a long time. Um, but yeah, overall, the whole tournament like was a success in terms of the games that were tournament games were probably the most competitive of this early season,
Yeah.
which that's what I was most looking forward to. Like I don't really have stakes in the tournament itself. Like whoever hangs it up is whatever, but it is good basketball. So yeah, success in that regard.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I think this year we got the glimpse of what it could be in the future of just like the high profile teams that season getting to see more them play each other more, instead of in the past where we would have to wait to playoffs for matchups like this to really happen on a on a stage that kind of national. I will say, yeah, it's goofy. They're not hanging up the banner. I think I saw some people saying like when the Lakers and the Bucks did it, people were making fun of them. But like that's just NBA like discourse in general. You do anything, you're gonna be made fun of. Like it's just that's just how it goes, man. Like it doesn't matter. Like look at LeBron, the greatest player to like play basketball. He has like 20 memes out there, bro. Like that's just how NBA fans are. So like to be a franchise who hasn't won anything in so long, like not hang a banner like that up. It's like you think you're better than the Lakers, bro. Like no, like at least the Lakers have won, of a championship this decade, this century even. Like the Knicks haven't won a championship in the 2000s. Like so. It's just like it's weird. It is goofy behavior, but good for the Knicks. Good for the Spurs to get there, and yeah, I think it just makes me excited for tournaments in the future because I think this is the first year we got a glimpse of what it really could be. With that in mind, though, I'm even more excited because Adam Silver even went on to say that they could possibly stop doing it in Vegas and start moving to doing it in historic college arenas. And I think that's really sick. How do y'all feel about that? And do you have an arena where you would want them to play at?
Well, I think they definitely have to bring it to Seattle at one point,
Mm,
at least just once, just for them to get some basketball back in there for the NBA.
yeah,
Maybe as a test run, I don't know. The Vegas crowd seems dead sometimes, and it is what it is. But yeah, if they do like start bouncing it around every year and just like try out different cities, that would be cool. I think I just don't want it to get pinned down to one city like
yeah,
it has been for Vegas so far.
I feel like I'm fine with Vegas. But I think if they choose that college route, it would mean more for the colleges rather than the NBA. Like I don't think the NBA would necessarily gain anything out of it because they'd probably do it at like Duke, UNC, UCLA, maybe USC, um, probably some like Texas colleges, um, and just like along the East Coast and whatnot. But it would be, I guess, a little bit more interesting to see because our college, there's no way college arenas are bigger than NBA arenas.
yeah,
Like I know college football stadiums are bigger than NFL stadiums, but I don't know. It would be interesting. And especially the pricing too, because a lot of times college games are like 30, $40 max, unless you're, sitting courtside or whatever. Um, so like pricing for that as well would be interesting to see, but
I think for college games, at least big ones, they can get crazy expensive. because a lot of the college alumni, the wealthier ones will buy up all the tickets by that point. But if it's an NBA game, I don't know if it would be the same or not, or
Gotcha.
how much they would weigh that. But I definitely think it's worth trying out.
Yeah, I think going to college, like historic college arenas, will be fun. I think if they like maybe do something where like students could maybe get like at least a section to make it, because like a lot of these arenas, the reason why they're historic is because of the atmosphere. Like Kansas. I can imagine if you put that Vegas crowd in the Kansas stadium, it's gonna be the same as if you put those Kansas fans like in that Vegas stadium. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it just also depends on the crowd you have there, because some of them are historic because of that atmosphere, because of how the fans are. So it would be interesting to see how they would do that and how they would make sure that atmosphere is carried over. I think I'm kind of in the same vein as Vaughn though, whereas like I hear this and I'm like, that means they're not gonna do it in the same place every single year. That means they're looking at opportunities to go literally anywhere in the U.S. And I'm thinking like, why don't they like Vaughn said, go to Seattle? They can go play in that famous like Indiana stadium where they have the high school tournaments. Like that place is pretty big. Like they can do anything they really want to and like really just elevate it. um, so that would be really fun. It just kind of gives me hope that they can really hold it anywhere they want to. Like if they really wanted to, they could hold it at Madison Square Garden and just have like a one-time tournament there. And I'm sure, New York fans will show up and just like that place would go crazy. Um, so yeah, I just think like realistically, it just kind of opens up the doors to like for them to try out so many like crazy ideas. So yeah. All right. And then our final piece of news, um, Trey Young is back after an MCL sprain, which, to be honest, I'm not going to lie, I didn't know he was out. um, but I think this is good news for the Hawks because, you know, they're sitting ninth and they've been pretty mid. Now that they have their star back, this could change some things around. How do you feel about this news, and are you excited to see how the Hawks truly look?
Me, no. I'm past the Hawks at this point. Um, they're just gonna forever be winning one, losing one, no matter who's on the roster. Uh, I just can't be excited about this team like even a little bit. Like I can't even pretend to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just like the history of the Trey Young Hawks. This is the way it's been. Even when he's out, they're win one, lose one. So this is such like a whatever headline for me personally.
It's not that I'm excited per se, but I feel like it could help them. He hasn't played since like the start of the season, and they've been 13-9 with him off the floor since his injury. But I think with Jalen Johnson's elevated play that we've been seeing as of late, um, I think Trey Young could help elevate it even more, especially with him seeing all of these games, uh, in the flesh. So I don't know. Maybe they'll rise above mid because a lot of these teams in the standings are slipping as well. So um, I think maybe they could bump up, a few games if if possible, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. I think I can't say for sure, man. I'm not gonna be. I think the Hawks have burned me too many times. How many episodes are there on this podcast alone where we're hype about something relating to the Hawks, and then nothing really changes? I mean, I was one of the people last year saying DeJounte Murray's going to change this team around. We're going to see a playoff run, and they still finished fighting in the play-ins. And I don't even think they made it to the playoffs last year, if I remember correctly. So like, it's just I want to say Trae Young coming back with Jalen Johnson doing really good is going to be a good thing for the Hawks, and we'll see them finally be above 500. But at the same time, you never know, and it could be like a situation where Jalen Johnson, he doesn't have the ball in his hands as much, and his stats go down, and him and Trae Young don't match well, and it's just like back to square one. But I am hoping that that's not the case, and I'm not gonna sit here and I'm say excited, but like at the same time, if it does work out, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, let's go, finally, bro, because I just feel like Trae Young is too good of a player to be constantly in the play-ins and constantly losing in the first round. It's just like it's sad. It really is.
I will say they're only 2 games behind the 4 seed, and they're sitting at ninth right now. So the East is pretty wide open in terms of 5 through 9.
Yeah, the East is looking rough this year. All right. Well, normally this is when we would do our game of the week, but because this is our Christmas themed episode, I do want to switch it up a little bit. And this week, I just want to say, which Christmas Day game are you making sure you're up and early for, even though they're not that early? And which Christmas Day game are you sleeping? You're taking your midday nap for. Just a recap for those of you who don't know the Christmas Day schedule: it's Cavs Knicks, it's Spurs Thunder, it's Mavs Warriors, it's Rocket Lakers, and then it's Timberwolves Nuggets. Only one Eastern team this day. But who are you making sure you're tuned in for, and who are you taking that midday nap?
I know we're all watching the Mavs Warriors. Hell no, bro. That's midday nap, bro. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. The game I'm most excited for, though, would probably be Spurs Thunder. The Thunder already lost to the Spurs once. Will it happen again? So I feel like even though there's only one Eastern Conference game, I feel like it's a pretty good slate. Minus, Mavs Warriors, but I think all of these games will be pretty good on Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think a soul is out here saying Mavericks and Warriors. I don't even think Mavericks and Warriors fans are saying they're most hyped for that game. They would be lying. And when this first released the schedule, I think I was excited for Cavs Knicks, but now seeing how the Cavs have been playing, how disappointing they kind of been, I'm not really excited about that one either. But the rest of them have really good potential for being like classic Christmas Day games, especially that Spurs Thunder. After what I saw in the in-season tournament, I think the Thunder will definitely be, back for revenge, and Spurs are, healthy again. Rockets Lakers, I need to see more Kevin Durant LeBron action. I think we're not going to get very much more of these games between these two, and so I think I really have to cherish this one. And as far as Timberwolves Nuggets go, it's Ant-Man versus Jokic, that one playoff series. I keep thinking of all the thrills about that one. I hope they recapture a little bit of that again this day.
Yeah, I would agree with. I think most people would say that Mavs and Warriors is our midday nap, bro. Like, I don't think anyone is watching that game with how just like poor both teams are right now. Of course, mine most excited is Nuggets Timberwolves. I just feel like that out of most games today, that feels like a true rivalry budding up. It just seems like they're letting it happen naturally. So I am excited to see how that's gonna play out, especially with the Nuggets just look on fire. The Timberwolves are looking like they're finally getting their footing again. So it will be interesting to see how that will play out. Cavs Knicks. I will say it is sad that we only have one Eastern Conference game. And I also will say it's so sad that this is the game that's representing the Eastern Conference, because the Knicks, for for sure should dog walk the Cavs. Like, I just feel like the Cavs are like been very disappointing this season. They're very disappointing against good teams in general. Like, I don't think we've seen them play against a good team and actually have a good showing in like the past 2 seasons. So I think that's another one that like I'm sleeping in that day. I don't need to wake up at whatever time to make sure I don't miss it, because honestly at the end of the day I know the outcome. But yeah, it is crazy, bro. This might be our last time seeing Kevin Durant, LeBron James on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's definitely like bittersweet almost.
Yeah.
I do have a proposition though. Do you think if it was Dallas versus the Lakers on Christmas, that would be more interesting, particularly in Dallas?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think Mavs fans are mad at Luka, so I don't think it would be as toxic as an environment as it normally would be, because like I think Luka made it very clear that he didn't want to leave Dallas. Um,
Yeah, right.
so I think it wouldn't be as toxic, but I think it would be fun for Luka to just go out there and scorch the Mavs in Dallas, bro. Just, but I think Mavs Warriors doesn't help that they're both so mid, and so like, if it was Mavs Lakers, at least it would be like a really good team, with a chance of the Mavs maybe pulling up enough upset. I doubt it, but like you never know. So it would have been more interesting than Mavs Warriors.
I I think I'm in the opposite. I think that's just a slaughter. I don't see how the Lakers could lose that, or at least maybe they would have an off game. That would be the hope for the Mavericks. Or maybe it's another Cooper Flag 40-point game. But I just can't see that happening. I think
Mm.
Warriors and Mavericks is probably going to be the more competitive game, not because they're good teams, but because they're both struggling and trying to figure things out. And so they're probably closer to being an even playing field. But I just this year having the Mavericks in a Christmas game, I would just rather not see it. But that you couldn't have foreseen the Mavericks being this terrible.
Yeah.
True, true. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for news. So, and that's who we think you should tune in for Christmas Day. I feel like they're getting some of their importance back with these games. I feel like this is the first time in a while I've seen team fans really hyped for the Christmas Day games. So I'll be tuning in and definitely seeing who's going to come out on top. But keeping up with our Christmas themed, our main topic today is gifts we're giving out to NBA teams. So we're playing Santa this year. We each have some gifts we want to show kindness in our hearts. Help these teams get some things rolling again. And I kind of want to kick this off just to set the tone. My first gift is this little magical reset button, and I'm giving it to the Clippers so they can reset their entire franchise. So they can reset, go back. They're getting, the expansion draft. They're starting completely over. The Clippers never existed until today because, man, is this team in shambles right now. Chris Paul leaving, their first round pick, going to the Thunder. The penalty from the NBA just hanging over them. The poor performance. Pretty sure Ty Lue as the coach. I mean, there is just it's just like it's looking pretty bad for the Clippers, and it really seems like there's no future. So you know what? I'm giving them a reset button. Feel free to hit it whenever, because that's what this franchise really needs. It just seems like right now it's only gonna go downhill from here. Reports on how poorly the Clippers are treating Chris Paul keep coming out. It's just like the Chris Paul is going down looking like a martyr, and the Clippers are looking like to be an awful franchise that no one wants to play for. It's really sad. That's my gift.
I can't imagine a more appropriate gift for a team that desperately needs it the most. Like, yeah, there's arguments to be made for like the Hornets or Pelicans. They need some sunshine, but these are some gloomy years on the horizon, and uh, there's just no way to avoid it. It's just coming their way, and they're kind of just going for title of joke franchise, and it just looks worse because you're in LA right next to like a historical storied franchise.
Mhm.
So it'll feel 10 times worse for the Clippers. So yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, a reset button is definitely like, if possible, in order for them, and it sucks because like Balmer, other than the whole scandal, um, is such a good owner compared to their previous one, Donald Sterling, with that whole thing. But it was like he was trying to help the Clippers, become a better organization and things like that, built into it, did all the things, which
Oh
I think
no,
we lost him for good.
yeah, I think we did lose him.
He was probably speaking too much truth, man. They had to take him out.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer was like, "Oh no, I can't have this man slander my name any longer."
Which is crazy because we were dragging their name through the mud, so Eugene must have been saying something crazy. Well, while he comes back, I'll just get started with my gift. And, my Celtics, have been doing better than expected, which is kind of scary for me because I'm seeing reports. Maybe Jason Tatum comes back this year, and I hate hearing those reports because we don't need him back this year. Um, it doesn't feel like a true championship run on the horizon. Even if we are good, even if we are a playoff team, it doesn't feel like a true championship run. Kind of a waste. But if we want to Tatum so bad, sign Deuce Tatum to a two-way contract. Get that man on the court, man. I don't care what the rules are. You have to be 18. I don't care. Find a legal loophole. Get Deuce Tatum on the Celtics roster. I don't. It can be done. If they really care, they could get Deuce Tatum on the roster.
I don't even know what to say to that. How is this a gift to the Celtics? How is Deuce Tatum? How is breaking child labor laws a benefit to the Celtics?
Well, because the rumor is Jason Tatum wants to return this year, and that I think just detracts from what the Celtics are doing this year. And if he
Yeah,
does come back, I think that kind of hurts them in a way, especially the Rays' risk of injury.
yeah,
But who won't get injured out there? Deuce Tatum. Um, but the real answer, the real gift I would give the Celtics is signing Isaiah Thomas to a 10-day contract to close out the year. Because I know he was talking about wanting to just get one last, not even a go around, just like to retire and bring conclusion to his career. And I think I, as a fan of him, would like to see that because you kind of see this sort of thing ceremonial happen with other players. I think Paul Pierce even had it at one point, or maybe it was Kevin Garnett. Either or, it's not a unheard thing, and it would be a nice way to let him go out the way he wanted on a team where he could find the most success on, because it still kind of feels, water on the bridge, yes, but it kind of just still leaves a nasty taste in my mouth the way they did him dirty. So it'd be a nice way to bridge that gap.
for me, I mean, I see why you say that. Obviously, I don't think y'all necessarily need Isaiah Thomas, but to kind of like make amends of how he left, uh, it would be nice. It definitely would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? That is a perfect Christmas present because it would be a Christmas miracle if that man can get back on the NBA court. He's been begging for years. Every time someone goes down, every time a team needs a point guard, he's the first one to throw his application on the desk. So I think that would be. I mean, that would be nice, bro. Because I feel like Celtic fans will love it. He would love it. You know, there's no. It won't hurt. You don't like. It's not like they need him to run the offense or anything. So it would be nice to see have him like officially retire with the Celtics, the team that he helped put back in the playoffs and the team that helped his career really take off the ground. So that would be cool to see.
Yeah,
Better
bro,
than your
if Joe Johnson, ended up on the team like 2 years ago, before he actually played an NBA game at one point, we could get this man Isaiah Thomas on the team.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so since I don't remember what I was yapping about, my NBA gift. I'll start with the Cavs, and I just say, just help. They need their health back. Darius Garland has been, or was out for a good portion of this season. Evan Mobley is out for like 2 to 4 weeks. Um, Jared Allen obviously has a history of injuries. Donovan Mitchell has stayed healthy for the most part, but you know they've been playing with like a broken starting five for a lot of this season, and I feel like that's the only way they can make their way back up in the standings. Because they have a bunch of chemistry together, but they're just not on the court at the same time, which is unfortunate. Um, but I think another gift that they need, bro, is get rid of Donovan Mitchell. I'm not saying he's a
Wow.
problem. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a problem, but I think he's a curse, bro. I think he's the next Chris Paul. I don't see him winning a ring, bro. He couldn't get past like the second round with the Jazz. Got deleted in the first round of the playoffs um with the Cavs. So it was just kind of like, and then acted like he just didn't know how to play basketball in the playoffs. So I think the Cavs might just have to get rid of Donovan Mitchell as a whole because he's just like he's got this curse on him, bro.
I feel like if they go down that route, it might just have to be a blow it all up type deal. Unless they think whatever, like Donovan Mitchell, if you trade him, is going to get you the most value in return. So maybe they could stay competitive. I feel like that just, in a way, signals to the rest of the team they're giving up. Because I feel like this has been the most competitive they've been since LeBron was there, is having Donovan Mitchell there. Like before he came there, like they were a promising team. They were on the up. But you tear him away. Like, what's that identity look like? Because, like you said, injuries have been a big problem. It doesn't matter if it's Jared Allen or Darius Garland. Um, and I think a big piece of why they can't move on is because Evan Mobley, as good as he is, isn't like improving.
Mhm.
He's been like kind of stagnant last couple of years. Like, very excellent player. Not as aggressive as you would like. Like you were thinking originally when you drafted him, possibly your number one guy. But sometimes he doesn't play like even a number two guy, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like they would definitely change their identity if they traded Donovan Mitchell. But it's scary season for Cleveland because they're not getting no free agents. I don't think. Um,
Hell no.
and they have to be so smart with their trades moving forward. So
Yeah.
it would be good luck to them.
Yeah, health definitely is a good gift because, yeah, like you guys already mentioned, it really seems like it really seems like their core is never healthy. Like ever. It's always one or two guys out. I think in the playoffs at one point, like most of their starting like core was out. We saw most of them slowly joining the series like one at a time. It almost felt like they were just kind of slow rolling them out. And it just seems like that's what's hurting them the most is that like they don't really have chemistry. We don't like they're always hurt. Where we've seen the rotation look different so many times. We've seen the roles look different so many times. I mean, last year we saw Donovan Mitchell having to take up the role of shooting the three because like all their shooters are out. He like it's just odd, like the Cavs had so much promise and it seems like they're almost like the Bulls except, they didn't give up right away. Like
Yeah.
it seems like they're still trying to hold on to what could have been. And I just feel like right now that injuries and like Donovan Mitchell just kind of like I feel like he has yet to fit in this team, which is sad. But like I feel like every time I watch him play, he still looks like he just joined them, And it's kind of the same with Jimmy Butler right now. It kind of like that's what I'm seeing with Jimmy Butler too. But it seems like they still haven't figured out a scheme to fit Donovan Mitchell in the way they play. And it's just like it seems like he goes out there and it's like, okay, do whatever you want, get a bucket for us, or you know, just get the ball to him, or like let him do his thing, because it just feels like they don't really play like they've been playing together for what is it 3 years now they've been playing together,
I think it's been 3. Yeah.
and it still feels so disjointed, bro. Like Rudy Gobert fit into the Timberwolves faster than Donovan Mitchell has fit into the Cavs, bro. And that was like a dumb trade at the time, or a dumb move. Nobody really thought Rudy Gobert on the Timberwolves would be a good idea at all. And it looks like it's been playing out better than Donovan Mitchell on the Cavs, and he was the better option out of the two. So it's just like, yeah, health might go a long way because then that team can finally learn how to play together.
Yeah. And I'm not even saying like that the Cavs should get rid of Donovan Mitchell, but like Donovan Mitchell literally just fell into another Jazz situation. Like he's got to do everything for this team just to
Yeah,
barely scrape a win. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, so like it's unfortunate on his part because at the time of that trade, we were like oh, like it's gonna be him and Garland in the backcourt. They got rid of Sexton. Unfortunate, but like whatever. Um, the Cavs won that trade essentially, and then now they're better than the Jazz currently, but they're sitting bottom of the playoff race right now. So uh, I don't know. I feel like Donovan Mitchell has that CP3 curse on him. You're gonna end up ringless.
yeah. It definitely seems that way, bro. Yeah, it's just odd. It sucks, but at the same time, it's like, bro, what else can they do? It's literally just injury after injury. Guys like Jarrett Allen just hasn't played like himself in so long, bro. Like he went from the next like big center in the league to just like another role playing center who's just there to take up a starting role. Like it's just like it just hasn't played out the way anyone has thought it would.
Mm.
Right. Like even like their role player trades, and like they had Ty Jerome last year, and they replaced him with Lonzo Ball, who forgot how to shoot, and he's missing layups. They got DeAndre Hunter last year as well, and he's kind of also been in a rut playing wise. Um, it's just like every move they're dancing around the problem, and it's probably one of their core guys that has to go. So I definitely see something's got to change, and they just refuse to do it.
Yeah.
I think the only way they get better is if they add another star player somehow, some way. Because like if they get rid of Donovan Mitchell, kind of like you said, Vaughn, it's essentially just blowing up the system and then starting over.
Trade him back to the Jazz, bro.
Yeah.
You can have him back. All right. My second gift and probably my last gift, a new medical team medical staff for the 76ers, bro. Here you go, state of the art, fresh out of college. A brand new medical staff because I don't know what's going on in Philadelphia, but Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Markelle Fultz, and now Jared McCain. They've had so many next big player just completely become a different guy other than Joel Embiid. But he's like injured like 90% of the time. So even though he hasn't played any worse, he definitely just doesn't play at all sometimes. But they had so many guys just become busts or not live up to the hype because they just are riddled with injuries. And I don't know what that medical staff is doing over there. I don't know if they're just like performing like 1700s type medicine where they're rubbing dirt on shit and then like saying get back out there. But like it's just like what are we doing to these players? And I came up with this because Jared McCain is the next victim of this medical staff, bro. He has been putting up donuts every time he gets playing time, bro. And that man looks like Rookie of the Year like 6 months ago. Like, not too long ago, we were saying how he could have won Rookie of the Year, and we're excited to see him back on the court. Bro, that man was in the G League this season. He has not been the same player whatsoever. Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor probably aren't even in the league anymore. Ben Simmons, was a bench rider for like 3 different teams. Like Joel Embiid is considering early retirement. Like, what is that medical staff doing? And here's a new one. Get rid of the old one. Sorry, guys. Here's your, here's some back pay. Hope you find a new job because here's my new medical team for the 76ers, bro. Get out there and solve whatever they're doing, bro. Like, it's just like, what are they doing over there in Philadelphia? Because how many young guys are going to get drafted and their careers ruined by this team and this medical staff?
Yeah, I don't want to be here in like 3 years doing a new what if NBA players edition and we're putting Jared McCain on the list. Because like that first month last year of him, like he was genuinely like, he didn't look like a rookie. Mm-hmm. Like he should have been putting up the stats he was. And now he looks not just at square one, square zero. Like, yeah. Did they rush him back or what? Because he's not even a glimpse of the same player he was before. So it is scary if you're a rookie getting drafted to that franchise because you don't know what is going to happen in that medical staff. And you know what? Like this group has survived like multiple GM changeovers, like at least 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. Since this has been the trust the process Sixers, and it's just a persisting issue. Maybe they are just really unlucky, or what? Because there's nothing that could really explain this.
Yeah, another good gift. As you mentioned, it's been a problem for years. I don't know, bro. Like, it does because no other team has had issues like this, like at all. Where they get a top drafted player, lottery pick, they get wasted away in their first year or two, and then they just never come back the same. I don't know. Like, I literally have nothing to say because it's just like, why is this the case? And I mean, obviously we don't know anything about like the medical side and things like that of professional sports, but like, why aren't the Sixers doing anything to combat the situation? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah.
Like, I would understand if it was a player here and there, but I named 6 different players, all from different drafts, all from like the span of like 15 years, bro. and all of them had like reoccurring medical anomalies. Like, say what you want about Jaleel Okafor and Nerlens Noel. You could say they wouldn't have been that good anyways, but like Jaleel Okafor has had knee problems his entire NBA history. Nerlens Noel also had ACL problems. Joel Embiid hasn't played a full season since like ever. I'm pretty sure he hasn't played a full season. Ben Simmons medical like a mystery back problem, Markel Fultz mystery shoulder problem, like, and now we're flash forwarding. It's been 10 years since Ben Simmons, a brand new rookie, brand new generation of players, and he's having medical issues, bro. And it's like, what, like, okay, I understand every team runs into bad luck here and there, but like 7 high draft picks in the past 15 years have had medical issues. None of them like on the lower end ish either. Like none of them are like, oh yeah, he has a wrist problem now and then. Like they're all career ruining injuries, bro. Like I don't know. I don't play basketball, but I'm pretty sure you need your right shoulder to shoot the ball. Like
Even if you're a lefty, right?
yeah,
Like,
or yeah, or you're left. I'm pretty sure Markel Fultz is a lefty. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter. Like you know what I'm saying? You need like these are all things that like ruin careers, and it's happened 7 different times, and it's happening again. Like it's so odd. So here's your new medical staff. Go fix whatever the last staff was doing because they obviously aren't doing something right. And yeah, Eugene's right. I don't know. We don't know anything about the medical side of this league, but if the Celtics have Tatum maybe coming back this season, like I think that's a bad sign for the Sixers who can't even get their rookie playing normally again.
Okay. My next gift is to the Timberwolves. We're hooking a supercomputer directly to Rob Dillingham's head, downloading all basketball knowledge in a second, because now he can literally play basketball. He can do something, because right now he's doing nothing. He's losing playing time to Bones Highland, who I thought was on his way out the league.
Yeah,
And
that's
you know,
crazy.
Rob Dillingham is still young. He's 21 years old, but he does not show. He's worse. He's worse than his rookie season. And this is a Timberwolves team who needs a point guard. Because as much as I love what Julius Randle's out there doing, um, it's scary hours come playoff time. You know, he's been shut down before, and it would help point guard with true playmaking duties. Because you got Mike Conley, who doesn't really move like that anymore. Bones Highland, who's super inconsistent, and Rob Dillingham, who's supposed to be the future point guard. Like I was so like excited when he first got drafted. I'm like, finally, the Timberwolves have a future. You know, this is gonna be a guy that's gonna grow alongside Anthony Edwards. And now it just like he's probably got no trade value. Just how bad he's been playing. Um, and you know what? This one thing would resolve the biggest issue the Timberwolves have had for years, even since D'Angelo Russell was there. D'Angelo Russell is not playmaking like that. They were playing very dumb basketball, and it kind of I see glimpses of those same mistakes even now.
Yeah,
But yeah,
most
I would download all basketball knowledge to Rob Dillingham.
that's like a perfect way to put it because it's not like his skill level is bad. It's like he has no basketball IQ, bro. Like, yeah, like this is a like it's crazy. It's really wild the decision he makes on the court sometimes, and like I know I can't talk. I'm not out there, but like, bro, you're supposed to be this star point guard, and it just seems like you like not once have looked at that team's playbook. Like, are you just like taking a nap during the team meetings? 'Cause, like, it's like he sometimes looks lost out there, bro. Like, it's wild. So I think a supercomputer is the right way to put it. Put an AI chip in his brain that tells him what move to make next, like a chess robot. You know?
I haven't watched any Timberwolves basketball this season yet, but it based on what you guys are saying, like it sucks to hear because he was one of my rookies to watch last year. So now that he's like performing this way, it's kind of like what happened? You know, is it something off the court? Is he actually sleeping in the team meetings? You know, like what's not something's not working, you know, in his life, and something's got to get figured out. Um, but hopefully he's, you know, this is like his low point, and then he works his way up because like he's a good player, bro. And like you said, Vaughn, they need a point guard, a playmaking point guard specifically. He has that capability, and Ant cannot do everything by himself, even though he acts like he can. Um, but you know, a playmaking point guard will free up so much space for not only Ant, but you know, just their team in general, in terms of how they operate. So hopefully he can get right. I still have belief in him, but if he doesn't get the flip switch by like All-Star break, he might be G League or even worse.
Yeah, I think Bones Highland is like he's like the type of point guard that comes off the bench and gets you like he makes sure you keep your lead. You know, he gets you a bucket. Like he makes sure that you continue keeping the offense flowing and getting buckets. He's not a playmaking point guard at all, bro. Like I when he was on the Nuggets, he was like going out there getting flashy dunks, you know, showing the handles and like getting a 3 point here and there. When it actually came to playmaking and literally anything else, he was kind of subpar at it, and that's what Malone hated. Not only does he hate young guys, he hates young guys who aren't like gritty. Like that's why Braun is like got so much playing time is because he has like the grit. So like Bones, like yeah, he's an all right point guard, and he can maybe get the job done, but he's not what they need. Like Eugene said, they need a playmaking point guard specifically. They need a point guard who knows how to run the offense, who knows how to get the open look, and it's just like they thought they got one, but they're stuck with Julius Randle and Bones Island instead.
Yeah, Bones Highland is like really a highlight player, but like Rob Dillingham has the path open for him. Like no one is there to, if he is playing to what he's supposed to be, there's no one standing in the way of that. It's really just him standing in his own way at this point, which is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh, for my second one, we kind of already talked about them in this episode, how bad they are. And I feel like if they do this, they could make a strong push for a good rebuild. For the Mavs, just trade all their assets, probably including Kyrie, and just build around Cooper Flag. I feel like this will give Jason Kidd a fresh start, you know, with a new team. He doesn't have to worry about vets. Um, Although it might be a little bit harder. But trade AD, trade Clay, trade Kyrie, while they still have some sort of value, um, for some draft picks, whether it's in this draft, next draft, whenever. They just need draft picks. Build around Cooper. Obviously, this being his rookie season, dropping a 40 bomb, nobody necessarily expected that, but he's done pretty well for himself on a team loaded with superstar, former superstars, however you want to view them. Um, he's performed well with the Mavericks. So obviously with the Mavericks drafting him, um, they're kind of pushing for the future. They're just not directly aimed at it. They're still kind of in their win now uh, situation. But I think they just need to do away with that, trade away all their star players, um, for some younger guys and or draft picks and just build around Cooper.
Yeah, like if they just keep going down this route of trying to hang in there and be competitive, like yeah, Kyrie will come back and win you some more games, but you're not going to be like I don't know what delusion they think. They're not going to be a true contender, even if they think they are. It's just we've seen Anthony Davis miss games, and whether he's there or not, they still lose. And they're kind of still a team with the roster built around Luca. Between Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington, these guys that are meant to hide Luca's defensive gaps. It just doesn't, they're kind of getting in the way of Cooper Flag at this point because Cooper Flag wants to get the rim, and these guys are just always in the way. It seems like so. If you really thought you were truly contending, you would have to adjust your roster around what you got now, and they haven't. So it just makes sense that they clean house
Yeah.
because they could get a good amount of first rounders for these guys, and yeah, it wouldn't make sense to keep going down this path.
Yeah, I think that's trading away their assets is a good way to put it because like they do have assets. Like they have a lot of guys that these teams will want, and so like getting just kind of hitting that restart button and kind of getting like this team that was specifically made for as he once put it, defense wins games kind of mentality. You don't really have that doesn't really work for the pieces you have anymore. You basically don't have anyone reliable anymore, and you still have those pieces where like their specialty is defense, but now you can't like score, bro. You can't like there's really no offense there, and one of the reasons why I said Cooper Flag might not finish as a top rookie is because, like Vaughn said, they're wasting him. This is a guy who is more of like you know a all around threat in every area of the court, and he doesn't have that freedom. He's kind of stuck playing that kind of like point forward they have him doing sometimes, and I feel like that's not really him. He's kind of like get open, get those like slashes in, and really just make overwhelm the defense. And like right now, it's just like everything about the Mavs is stale. like, it's just like they don't have Kyrie. AD is hardly there, but when AD does play, yeah, he's being a defensive menace, but like that man isn't really doing anything anywhere else. So I feel like a reset button will really help because like this team is built for the wrong reasons. They're kind of like a jumble of pieces.
Yeah, they're kind of like in that halfway situation of do we want to win now or do we just want to rebuild?
Yeah.
And it's like currently they're in a more win now mentality, but I think in reality they should just rebuild. Um,
Hmm.
it's something else. Mm, it's gone. I don't remember. But yeah.
All right. Do you guys have another one? I have one more that I can maybe stretch a little, but do you guys have a third one?
Um, I have like two more, but we don't have to talk about them. We can just say them.
Yeah, we just move on to it because I kind of planned it to be short anyway. So if you guys want to just do honorable mentions instead, we can't do that.
Yeah, I guess my two. Um, I'll give the Lakers bench more bench scoring. Their bench isn't. I don't know if their bench isn't really meant to score, or if they're just supposed to keep the leads that they already have. But our bench players don't necessarily put the ball in the basket a whole lot, so I would give them a little bit more bench scoring. And then for the Pelicans and the Thunder, um, I said I gifted them a healthy, give them back their starting five healthy, and then as well play together because both teams have not had their starting five. healthy, all healthy together and or play together. So, um, and I think that would obviously help the Thunder a lot more. And then maybe it would help the Pelicans, but the Pelicans are a lost cause.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, those are both really good gifts.
Yeah, my honorable mention was Warriors changed their game plan, just to anything else, mostly to include Jimmy Butler more. He's a guy who just like wasted. He doesn't feel like he's a part of the system. He's like DLC to the main game here, and he should really be part of the main cast. And it's kind of frustrating. Like Steve Kerr is just pulling out the same lineups, or like kind of just hurting his own team. Like, why is Pajemski getting as much time as he is, given he's been pretty bad in certain stretches? It's the persisting problem the Warriors have had. It's Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr. Me, and Angel keep saying Steve Kerr, but nothing changes.
Yeah. My honorable mention was a gift to the Heat, and it was a get anyone you want card because it seems like every time they want a top star, they lose that fight every single time, bro. And Giannis is on the market potentially. And so here's a get anyone you want. You automatically win the race for Giannis. There you go, bro. Because it just seems like, bro, they never win these battles. They never win these races. They never get the guy they want, and they end up with nothing every single year. So that was my gift to them.
Which is kind of surprising, but also not because I think people just don't want to play for Pat Riley
Mhm.
specifically. Because like Miami is obviously a good city, At least, I mean, I've never been, but it. I feel like players would want to go there, but they don't want to play for Pat Riley. I feel like that's where that disconnect is, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think that's definitely a piece of it. It does feel like you're not playing for the Miami Heat. You're not paying for Miami. You're playing for Pat Riley. And whatever he wants out of you as a player. If you don't give that to him, it's like you lose your value in a certain sense, and maybe he doesn't welcome you as another franchise would. But yeah, the Heat. I've seen jersey swaps for the Heat of like every star player. So yeah, one of those coming true. They need that.
All right, sounds good. Kind of a short episode just because it's Christmas, But let us know in the comments what gift you would give to these teams. And not only that, let us know what you think about the gifts we're gifting, if they're generous or not. Not only that, we are on all podcast platforms, so if you're listening to audio format, make sure you give us that good old 5-star, leave a review. We're also on all video formats, or YouTube specifically, so make sure you like and subscribe there. We're also on all social media platforms, so make sure you follow for clips, episode updates, and all that good stuff. Once again, thank you for listening. We hope to see you again next week and have a happy holidays.